Good evening, everybody. This is Amit Agarwal here. I will take you through today's consumer sector, the impact of COVID-19 on the sector, other variables impacting the sector, the valuations currently with the sector, and stocks that we recommend and the road ahead. I will briefly take you through a presentation on this. Let's start with the presentation. This presentation will briefly cover both the important aspects of consumer sector. First is the consumer staples as well as the discretionary. Now, in case of consumer sector, we don't know the potential ramifications of COVID-19, which we believe are currently very tough to predict and with a great degree of accuracy. Even as it is very tough to say how the outbreak would shape up in India in near future, and how would be the government responding to that in at various points of the COVID curve. But broadly, we feel the short-term impact to be very negative for retail and quick service restaurant. For quick service restaurant, we feel there would be tremendous pressure on dine-in business, which could mean overall business declines and even delivery demand could start coming down significantly once the curve crosses a certain threshold, and which makes consumers worry about that human touch every time. Even after the lockdown is lifted, we believe restaurants may be asked to operate with significant reduction in seating capacity for reasonably long time. Thus, plus the lingering consumer reluctance to dine in could put significant cash flow situation pressure on several restaurants. Amongst the quick service restaurant, we expect Jubilant Foodworks to be the one which would show a sharp recovery once COVID-19 recedes. In case of retail, with falling high street sales and increased online competition, some retailers which were already struggling before the coronavirus pandemic, the situation is not so good. With the lockdown and in the pandemic, and with economic slowdown, and with complete shutdown of malls and shops, which was seriously they are expected to severely hurt the business of all the retailers. As per various sources, revenue of Indian retailers selling non-essential items like clothing, footwear, and jewelry has already fallen by 75% in the last 1 month. Offline retail like travel, tourism, multiplexes, cafes, pubs, bars, luxury product including jewelry, uh, and even semi-discretionary items like apparel, cigarettes could see lot of pressure in medium term. Footfall dependent retail business would likely come under significant stress. This will severely impact the business of companies like Bata India, VIP, PVR, Coxon Kings, Mahindra Holidays, alcohol companies, paint companies, Titan Industries, and even Page Industries. But for consumer essential products, we feel the impact would be significantly positive, especially the short-term impact. We of late we have seen panic buying and stockpiling in the first three phases in most of the cities. A wider outbreak intensify stockpiling materially. Consumption items that we saw having surge in demand included home and hygiene product, grocery, instant noodles, ready to cook, ready to eat, other dye items like biscuits, salted snacks, fresh produce, eggs, beverages. Now, this should benefit companies like Britannia, Nestle, Dabur, Godrej Consumer, and even ITC, which gets around 5% of its revenues from FMCG sector. In long term, we can see there is significant change in consumer behavior. The consumer behavior has already currently shifted tremendously after COVID-19 impact, and it's nowhere more apparent in the personal care and sanitary product space. As we can see, consumer behavior has also shifted towards e-commerce, which can get a structural kick upwards. Also, small personal hygiene items like uh, floor and other surface cleaners could see permanent uptake in household penetration. To be very sure, the structural uptake could materially lower than the short-term uptake at the peak of the pandemic. However, we do believe a good number of household items could continue using these products even once the pandemic is under control. Now, this permanent change in consumer behavior is expected to benefit companies like Godrej Consumer, Hindustan Unilever, Jyoti Laboratories, will get a significant portion of their revenues from household and personal care segment. We can also see significant change in competitive dynamics. As we said earlier, several business could come under severe stress and may go out of business. Small jewelers and even restaurants are a couple of top of the mind examples. We are already constructive on both Titan and Jubilant, even as the short term story could be fairly challenging for both the names. Amongst big consumer companies, the competition has been benign for the last 3 years, and post COVID 19, we expect the competition to continue to remain benign, with each player staying within its niche area. Now, let us see the near-term impact on various subsegments of consumer sector. First is the home care segment. The home care segment includes products like floor cleaner, personal hygiene. The COVID-19 pandemic has served to focus the home care in two distinct areas. First is preserving home hygiene and therefore health, and the promise of efficacy without compromise. We can see greater portion of disposable income in future to be set aside for home care purchases as consumer priority have suddenly been reassessed. Broadly, we expect short term to be positive and momentum to be medium for home care segment. We are also of the belief that COVID-19 presents a good opportunity for the industry to ramp up home care segment over the next few years. This should definitely benefit companies like Hindustan Unilever, Godrej Consumer, and Jyoti Laboratories. Now, let us see the impact of short-term impact on beauty and personal care segment. In case of beauty segment, which comprises skin care, color cosmetics, hair care, fragrances, and personal care, the impact has been negative of COVID-19. Q4 FY20 sales are expected to be weak as there has been widespread store and salon closures. In most major beauty industry markets, in-store shopping usually accounts for 85% of the beauty products purchases. With lockdown, the beauty industry has got significantly impacted. In short term, we expect this impact to be negative. And overall, there is a belief that it may take up to 3 to 5 years to recover, as in the case of all the previous recessions for the beauty industry. This should partly impact business of companies like Dabur, HUL, even Bajaj Consumer and Godrej Consumer. In case of personal care, during the coronavirus emergency, most of the consumers increased their spending on personal care products. In early days of COVID-19, consumers thronged the market for hand sanitizers and other sanitary products. The personal hygiene market is expected to reach the US dollar 15 billion by 2023.
अमित सर आपका प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर नहीं हुआ है.
ये प्रेजेंटेशन मैंने शेयर तो किया है. Now it okay?
Now fine, sir. Please continue.
Sorry for the small disturbance. The personal hygiene market is expected with pandemic fears. More innovative products and newer brands are also entering the personal hygiene space. We feel that even after things normalize, the demand will keep growing. In short term, we expect the demand momentum to be positive, and even in long term, and this should benefit companies like GCPL, Bajaj Consumer, and HUL. Now let's see how the situation will impact paints and adhesives. For paints and adhesives, we expect a sharp decline in sales in first half of FY21, as consumers are likely to defer discretionary activities such as repainting. A pickup in sales thereafter could be slow, as consumers may defer discretionary activities such as painting, carpentry on account of economic impact of lockdown, and even in order to avoid contact with labor, which we consider as a precautionary step. A lifting of lockdown would release a lot of pent-up demand for incomplete painting projects, but we are not expecting much repainting work, especially in urban areas. It is very tricky to predict an outlook for auto coating rural markets. Overall, we expect gradual recovery in second half of FY21 and normalcy completely by FY21, which is our base case. For paints, the sharp fall in crude may boost the gross margins. Even as short-term demand collapses due to COVID-19, we broadly believe the fundamentals of paint companies and the category are notably intact. Indian paint players have outperformed FMCG on volume and revenue for the last 10 years, and the trend may likely to continue. Further, an oligopolistic structure and rational among incumbents have enabled margin expansion for all in the raw material price deflation. We see no reason for this change. Of all the paint companies, we are not positive on Asian Paints and Burgers, primarily on rich valuation concerns, while we are positive on Kansai, and we have a target price of 450. Even in case of adhesives, business would suffer in near term, and currently we are not positive on Pidilite primarily on concerns of stretch valuations. Now, let us see the impact on the packaged food industry. Currently, there is no evidence of food or food packaging being associated with transmission of COVID-19. With lockdown sharply curtailing dining out options, many consumers have shifted to making most or all of their meals at home. And in home, there has been more munching, continuous eating, and even snacking. Even psychologists are of the belief that snacking together at home bring back feeling of normalcy, togetherness, and it also calms down everybody. Our interaction with various companies reveal that long life food like Maggi have experienced a surge in demand as consumers have stocked stocked up staples out of fear of shortage and to limit the need to venture out for food. Sales of processed, canned, and frozen foods are also rising as many consumers are moving away from fresh foods in favor of stockpiling with longer shelf life. Products that require little preparation as ready meals and instant noodles are also seeing sales. Several large companies like Nestle, Heinz, Kellogg's, Tata Consumer, Britannia, HUL, ITC, and Dabur are experiencing a surge in demand because consumers are reaching for familiar brands in this time of uncertainty. This is one strong reason we believe packaged food industry will do well, and our basis. This is also the basis of our belief that Nestle, Britannia, and Dabur should do well in near term. Now, let us see the impact on the discretionary sector, which we believe is mostly negative and would be hit the most because of COVID-19 and a lockdown. The consumer discretionary space comprises business that sells goods and services which are essentially considered no, sorry, it's considered non-essential by consumers. These are also the products that consumers can avoid without any major consequences. In fact, these goods are desirable only if available income is about at a sufficient level. This is in sharp contrast to consumer staples. Consumer discretionary products witness strong demand during the recovery and booming phase of the business cycle and weak demand during declining phase. And currently, we believe with COVID-19, there is a declining phase in the business cycle, and hence we believe discretionary space should not be doing well. We believe discretionary players would be most impacted due to complete shutdown of retail outlet. This leads to zero sales post lockdown for most of the players. Within the discretionary space, we expect Titan and alcohol companies not to do well, even cigarette EBITDA to fall going forward. Operating leverage is expected to hurt these players even harder given the high fixed cost nature of their business. Now let's look at the volume trajectory going forward. In near term, most of the companies have felt the lockdown impact and are not expected to do well in near future. The overall volume trend continued to be weak with trajectory expected to be weak in till the first half of FY21. With the COVID-19 outbreak and subsequent lockdown, all segments have been facing the brunt to some extent. We expect this trend to continue till first half and start slowly recovering in by end of FY21. If you see the volumes as depicted in the chart on the presentation of for Hindustan Lever, the volumes over the quarters have been healthy except for Q3 of FY17. And in Q4 FY20, the company faced 7% decline in underlying volume growth. The management in the Q4 FY20 con call indicated that COVID outbreak exacerbated an already challenging demand environment in FY21, and the fall in volume was attributed primarily to reduction in channel inventory, negatively led by supply chain disruption and also a significant drop in consumer offtake. In what terms of volume, panic buying and stockpiling has been helping consumer companies. Online sales have also surged as people have become fearful. Each human interaction in the offline shopping journey is considered to be full of risk of getting infected. Online grocers Big Basket, Grofers, real challenge is to serve the demand. JustDial.com, for instance, have seen almost 200% year-on-year growth in sales for the last few weeks. Going forward, we expect volumes for most of the consumer companies to remain subdued in FY21 and start recovering by end of FY21 and return to complete normalcy in FY22. In terms of realizations, most consumer companies have decided either to reduce prices or not pass on the higher raw material cost, or even in some personal hygiene products amid the COVID-19 outbreak. For instance, Hindustan Lever has cut prices of Lifebuoy sanitizers, hand wash, and Domex floor cleaners by 15% recently, and Godrej Consumer has also decided not to pass on the higher raw material prices on soap. Usually, companies selectively and judiciously make price changes and grammage changes across their product portfolio, but this time they have not increased prices in the last 2 months. In fact, with benign competition and raw material environment, and with companies cutting down on other costs like ad, staff, and other expenditure, companies can expect to maintain margins. Flattish or lower realization and lower volumes are also expected to impact the revenues of consumer companies in near term. Now, let us see how the demand mix has been in rural and urban areas. For companies have been indicating that rural demand currently has been weaker than urban areas. Demand recovery in rural currently hinges on current harvest and COVID situation in rural India. Companies are also offering credit selectively wherever needed. If COVID-19 doesn't spread in rural India, it would augur well for rural demand. That said, companies are also indicated that one needs to watch out for a secondary derivative impact. For instance, rural demand is also fueled by remittances of funds by migrant workers in urban India to their families in rural India. On the other hand, the coronavirus outbreak has hit densely populated urban areas with vast areas of urban India remaining in a lockdown mode. Rural India, which is less affected by coronavirus and has been blessed with a record produce of rabi crops, holds hope for recovery for consumer companies. We expect rural India going forward to recover more quickly to urban areas. This will especially benefit companies which derive a large part of their revenue from rural areas, and this includes companies like HUL, Colgate, and Marico. Now let's see how the raw material situation has been for consumer companies. Uh, this is an important variable in earnings growth equation for consumer companies. Slower global economic growth and COVID-19 could basically mean raw material, which includes crude, crude derivatives, and some and even agri commodities, which continue to remain under pressure for some time. However, in a recent result of Nestle, we observe there has been continued inflationary pressure in milk and milk derivative products. Broad deflation in prices of agri commodities and crude-based raw materials could aid gross margins or provide the opportunity to cut prices to drive volume growth for consumer companies. This margin tailwinds are unlikely to mitigate the impact of slower revenue growth and likely INR weakness completely. Another important aspect of raw material is availability of raw material. While government has kept major ports and airports in the country open to freight movement in times of ongoing lockdown, there has been limited evacuation of imported raw material to factories, and this has been impacting the raw material availability for some of the FMCG companies. Now let's see the ad spend for most of the consumer companies. Consumer companies have been continuously lowering their ad spend or maintaining at current level over the last 4 to 5 years. For instance, Hindustan Unilever's ad spend have been flat as percentage of sales over the last 5 years at around 11.6%. This essentially implies no investment of gross margin surplus during this time frame. This is just one example to illustrate. This is just one example to illustrate. This is just one example to illustrate. Barring Colgate, all of the other companies have actually seen a reduction in ad spend as percentage of sales over the last 4 years. We believe low competitive intensity explains this behavior the best. No one really loses relative share of voice when everyone is pulling back on ad spends. With COVID-19 outbreak, a subsequent lockdown, and weak overall consumption trend, we expect companies to continue to lower their ad spends for the rest of FY21 and even FY22, and this should going forward aid better margins of
મેં
most
ત્યાં
of
શું
the
કીધું
companies.
કે તારે હમણાં નહીં કરતી પણ 4 વાગે હું સેટઅપ કરું ત્યારે કરી નાખી.
Now let's see how the EBITDA margin prognosis is for most of the consumer companies. Margin prognosis has been positive with benign crude and other raw material prices except for dairy products. Furthermore, strict control of overhead cost and Ind AS 116 impact should help report better operating margins going forward, even as operating leverage will be a drag for most of the companies. Operating leverage could hurt consumer discretionary. There's more with high fixed cost nature of their business. Um, Totally possibly, in our view, we believe two biggest drivers of margin expansion for the consumer staples are benign competitive intensity. Credible challengers seeking to gain market share generally create margin ceilings for the leaders in specific categories. Without such pressure, category leaders would naturally tend to maximize. And second is raw material cycles and not deflation. Every up and down raw material cycle tends to lift the margin table for Indian consumer staple companies, given immense pricing power. Pass-through is higher during the raw material inflation phase and the deflation phase. Net result is margin table goes up with every cycle. Past few years have been meaningful raw material cycles on a more frequent basis. Every cycle takes the margin table up. So broadly, we feel there would be a margin expansion despite slower revenue growth over the next 2 financial years, and this is how the situation would be for consumer companies in the next 2 financial years. If you analyze the various cost overhead for consumer companies for the last 10, 15 years, staff cost has remained mixed, and there has been a reduction in other expenditure as percentage of sales led by operating leverage. GST related logistics savings have provided a marginal kicker at best. Bulk of the margin expansion has also been on account of aggressive cost rationalization programs across companies. Hence, we have seen a significant uptake in EBITDA margins for most of the consumer companies, especially in the last 5 years. For Hindustan Unilever, the margin expansion in the last 15 years has been as high as 725 basis point. And with the current trend of weak raw material cycle for consumer companies saving in ad expenditure and even other expenditure, we expect this trajectory to continue for near term in for consumer companies. Broadly, we feel improvement in EBITDA margin, low raw material prices, and low tax rate to drive part of most of the consumer companies going forward. For consumer companies, we expect 8.6% growth in PAT in Q4 FY20. Earning expectation for 21 and 22 are based on improvement in baseline growth. Even with recovery, we believe there is still a risk to our earning expectations. Now let us see under current circumstances how what has been the supply chain issues companies has been facing, and what we expect to happen in the rest of FY21. FMCG distribution has seen more challenges in the last 5 years than any other aspect of the business, especially with demonetization, GST, Army CST restructuring, and advent of modern trade and e-commerce. Companies have been constantly battling to strengthen their presence in each channel. The current COVID crisis too has thrown up a fresh set of challenges. While the neighborhood Kirana Wala has demonstrated their importance, companies are also trying up with e-commerce for sales. Companies are also partnering with food grocery delivery players such as Swiggy and Denzo, and is looking at similar innovation to further streamline their supply chain. While a lot of plants and warehouses are essential goods are now operational, albeit at scale down levels, a shortage of Manpower and lack of raw material is still limiting their capacity to ramp up the production. For instance, Hindustan Unilever recently indicated it has ramped up its production to 75 to 80% and currently is able to sell 100% of what it is producing. Even for Marico, the production has been ramped up to almost 75 to 80% levels. To address newly challenged supply and dynamic scenarios, we believe that relocalizing sourcing and production will be inevitable in the longer term, along with streamlining through automation and even better integration. Let us see how the current situation has impacted the international business of consumer names. Uh, the COVID-19 and lockdown has impacted the entire world. The near-term performance should also see a drag from international subsidiaries of FMCG companies, especially in Europe, US, and Middle East. For example, Marico's international business in Q4 FY20 declined by 5% year on year. GCPL's, that is Godrej Consumers International Business, could be reasonably robust thanks to uh, good situation in Indonesia. Britannia, Dabur, Varun Beverages, and Pidilite to be impacted the most in international business. We expect aggregate revenue of subsidiaries to decline by almost 10 to 12% year on year due to higher impact of COVID-19 on international business. As we told you earlier, in terms of consumer offtake, core FM, food and beverages, home and personal hygiene would have benefited the most from panic buying and stockpiling by consumers. Calling out higher consumer uh, uh, offtake in some categories and collapse of offtake in others is easy to say very qualitatively. However, forecasting the impact on primary sales on account of lockdown in the last week of the quarter is very difficult. Broadly, we feel staples uh, to a revenue uptake of 3.5% in Q4 FY20. Of the lot, we expect top three companies which will be expected to do well include Dabur, Nestle, and Britannia. Nestle, which reported its number yesterday for Q1 FY20, revenues grew 10.8% year on year to 33.1 billion. This was 5% ahead of our expectation. Nestle currently has one of the most resilient portfolios under current circumstances. We are expecting even strong similar performance from Dabur and Britannia for the quarter and in near term based on the basis of their strong product portfolio suited for current time. However, due to stretch valuations, we are not positive on any of these three stocks. As we told you earlier, consumer discretionary plays would be most impacted due to complete shutdown of retail outlet. Within the discretionary pack, we expect paint companies to report sharp fall in volumes. And even for Titan and alcohol beverages, we expect the same. Broadly, we feel the total discretionary space covered by us to report almost 6% decline in sales on year-on-year basis. Now this table indicates the volume trajectory for the staples for the last 12 quarters. For the last, if you see for the last 12 quarters, uh, most of the companies have been reporting a positive uptake in volume growth for the last 12 quarters. Uh, However, with COVID-19 and lockdown, we believe alcohol beverages, Jubilant, Titan, and Page Industries to be impacted the most in current quarter. Operating leverage would be hurting them more given the high fixed nature of the business of these entities. Now, if you see what companies are currently planning, they are currently focusing on lifting of phase-wise lifting of lockdown by the government and some government measures. While lockdown measures seem to be working in reducing the spread of COVID-19, the associated loss of income for large section of the society has been hurting consumer spending. There is a broad-based expectation from the Indian government to look at additional fiscal measures and even monetary measures to fight the current slowdown. While the current quarter has started on a weak note, companies are indicating bigger shocks if the lockdown continues to stay and is continuously extended. We are also expecting consumer companies to benefit from the recent economic package uh, of US dollar 20 trillion announced by sorry rupees 20 trillion announced by the government yesterday. Now let's see how companies are planning to navigate through the current challenging environment. Firstly, they are partnering with food and grocery delivery players like Big Basket, Dunzo. There has been Amazon Pantry. There is Grofers. Companies has slowly also ramping up their production to meet the current requirement. For instance, Hindustan Unilever and Marico in the recent conferences call mentioned that they are working at almost 75 to 80% and will try and ramp it up to 100%. Also, they have been able to sell whatever they are currently producing. Companies are also mapping depots and production facilities across countries for streamlined movement of goods. Companies are also judiciously deploying their credit to support trade and insurance for distributor partners. Finally, companies are preparing for a swift action plan to as per the need of the hour. So this is how we see the outlook for the sector to shape for FY21 and even extending to FY22. In case of raw materials, we have just entered another raw material down cycle. They should support the gross margin. Competition remains benign for larger players, and we expect the competition to remain benign for them within their own space. For smaller players, several small businesses could come under severe stress and even may go out of business. In terms of media intensity, the consumer low media intensity and strict control of overhead costs to continue and become a permanent feature of most of the companies. The pace of margin expansion could keep surprising. The pace of margin expansion could keep surprising despite uh, surprising with possible first instance of surprises early as Q1 FY21. Core essentials are expected to outperform. Discretionary players would be the most impacted. Valuations are corrected, but still punchy. We are still watching out for um, structural dislocations. This is how we see various sectors contributing to nifty earnings over the next two financial years. The risk reward balance for Indian markets currently has become less favorable following the sharp run up of stock prices in the last 1 month. The price value gap has closed in some stocks and is less clear in others given large economic and earnings uncertainty. The market is factoring a combination of COVID-19 pandemic being not as bad as initially feared or COVID-19 impact being quite bad for the economic and corporate earnings. Consumer sector is one of the sectors which we are preferring in the current situation given a fair degree of uncertainty on the economic and earnings going forward. However, we also feel the consumer sector earnings valuations are less appealing currently versus what we were expecting a weeks back when the market had feared the worst on the pandemic. Nonetheless, we believe there is meaningful value in parts of the sector in the next 12 to 24 months. Our base case investment thesis remains that consumption demand will broadly normalize by end of FY21. Under current circumstances, we are recommending four stocks in the consumer sector, and all four stocks belong to the consumer staple segment. First is Hindustan Unilever. If you see, the company has reported a stable set of numbers for Q4 FY20. The company has also further step up its cost saving. The company has also deferred its expansion plan. Management also indicated that it has ramped up its production to 75 to 80%. Uh, we expect Hindustan Lever to race ahead of the competition with execution gap further widening. And we also expect accelerated margin expansion led by permanent retention of temporary cost savings. The company would also be consolidating with GSK Consumer from the current quarter, which is also expected to add value to the stock. We are recommending add on Hindustan Unilever with a DCF based fair value of 2,300. Our next recommendation is ITC Limited. Post COVID-19, we are building in a volume decline of 8% for cigarette business in FY21 versus assumption of 1% earlier growth. We believe that tobacco business would continue to generate healthy cash flows for a fairly long period of time. ITC's cigarette business is currently trading at an post-tax implied FCF yield of close to 12%, despite the stock nearly rallying 25% from its recent lows. Uh, on the company's part, it has announced a step-up dividend payout ratio, which is as high as 80%, which we believe is a welcome step. At CMP, the cigarette business currently trades at implied P of 8x. We are valuing the cigarette business at 15x at FCF yield of around 7%. And we are reiterating buy on ITC Limited with a target price of 255. Our next buy is on Marico Limited. The company again reported healthy set of numbers in Q4 FY20, and the outlook that the company has shared is also is very encouraging. The company has also ramped up its production at 70 to 80% of the monthly run rate of FY20 levels. Marico has tweaked its strategy in view of evolving situation. The company will be now focusing on premiumization, passing on some raw material gains to customers to gain volume. And the company will be focusing on food and hygiene space, aggressively pushing distribution and further strengthening its reach in rural markets. We like the clarity in strategy of Marico, and we have a buy rating on Marico with a target price of 350. Last of the consumer space, we recommend Colgate Palmolive. COVID-19 presents a solid opportunity for Colgate to start regaining some of the market share losses. Market with raw material, benign raw material situation and a strong market, we expect the market margin prognosis to remain strong for Colgate Palmolive. Broadly, we believe the long-term prospects of the company to be very attractive and with reasonable valuations. We continue to recommend add on Colgate Palmolive with the target price of 1485. Now, this is a broad valuation matrix of consumer companies. Of all these companies, we have just recommended Hindustan Unilever, ITC Limited, Marico, and Colgate Palmolive. If you see the entire matrix, the recent run-up in stock prices has ensured that most of the consumer companies continue to trade at stretch valuations. And despite we being positive on consumer companies, we have very limited options to invest in the consumer space. Key risk that we envisage going forward in the consumer space include macroeconomic impact and category specific trends likely to impact in the medium term. Discretionary purchases may remain weak for a longish period of time than what we are anticipating. Supply chain disruption may extend longer than what we are currently expecting, and companies may have very limited headroom to raise prices in case, especially in case raw material prices continue to move upwards from here. There would also be premiumization tailwinds. We have 3 questions from clients. The first question is The client has asked what is the best pick to invest in the consumer space. We do not have any such best pick, but as we have suggested earlier, one can look at stocks like Hindustan Unilever, ITC, and Marico in the staple space. And if the investor has a longish time horizon of investment, they can look at consumer discretionary companies like Jubilant Footwork and Titan Industries. Second question is, client has asked the outlook on FMCG sector. Broadly, we feel this is one sector which would be more resilient to the current situation and the current uncertainty. And we expect this sector to continue to show earnings growth in FY21 and as well as FY22 and to remain one of the top contributors to Nifty earnings. Uh, Raw material situation is also healthy for these companies. Companies are also been acting to bring down other costs. The only concern that we have towards the sector is the stretch valuation. Hence, we broadly believe that one should be very stock specific, and we have already shared the stocks that one can consider to buy. One more question that a client has asked is suggest low risk, high value stock in the industry. Of all the stocks that we have recommended, as an analyst, I believe Hindustan Liver offers one of the best opportunity. Even as it is tricky to predict the impact, direct and indirect impact of COVID-19 on the demand, we expect Hindustan Unilever to raise ahead of the competition, further widening execution gap. There would be accelerated margin expansion led by permanent retention of few temporary cost savings. GSK Consumer, which would be consolidated from the current quarter, and Hindustan Unilever has guided outlook on synergy gains on margin from GSK consolidation as conservative. As Kotak, we expect 1400 basis point margin expansion in acquired GSK consumer portfolio, and this would start within FY21 with 600 basis point expansion. And overall, this would lead to 10 to 12% EPS accretion in the next 5 years. We like the stock and we have a ad rating on the stock with a target price of 2300. That was all about how the consumer sector would be behave in the next 1 year or so, and even in FY22. And thank you for attending the presentation. If you have any further queries or if you have any further questions to ask, you can always write an email to me on agarwal.ahmed@kotak.com on the consumer sector, and we would be more than happy to answer each of your questions. Thank you for attending. With this, we are ending the presentation on consumer sector. Looking forward to meet you again. Have a great evening and stay safe. Thank you. Hello, Devang, we can end this.